a great new YouTuber, put out a contest. This is my first video to enter another YouTuber's contest. Stay tuned. Hey YouTube, it's Matt here, and like I said in the introduction, I am entering into a YouTube contest. Now, what this video is a YouTuber, a great YouTuber by the way, who had me on his channel. I want some of you guys, I'm going to put a link to TyloxTheMighty. I'm going to put a link to his channel down below. He just hit the 100 subscriber milestone, and he wanted to do a giveaway. Now, the giveaway entailed you, the person who's entering, to make a video and post it on YouTube with their 5 different criteria. Now, what he did was, he's also a frequent guest on the Spine Ticks YouTube channel. So he was on their super long Saturday night show. And if you guys love comic books, check out Spine Ticks on Saturday night. Again, I'll put their link down in the description below. But it's a lot of fun. That's also a show that I've been on a few times, okay? So, great people over there at Spine Ticks, and TyloxTheMighty had a really fun idea for a contest. Now, what it entailed was to make a video, post it on YouTube, and you had to answer 5 questions. Now, of the 5 questions were the first big book that you owned in your collection. Now, this is assuming, like, when you first started collecting. He wants your favorite C or D list character. Now, I definitely have one of those, but honestly, I think I have like 10 of those. So, what book am I happiest to own? Character I hate the most. I don't know if I like the word hate, but I do. There is a series that I absolutely did not enjoy reading. And what character has the best rogues gallery? Now, whenever he did this, I think he was intending it to be a 1-book thing, but guys, that's not any fun whatsoever. So I'm going to make this, the Matt Woods YouTube channel fun. I'm going to put a lot of books on here because, hey, it's just fun to show off books and it's fun to tell the stories behind them. But my first big book. Now, I'm going to actually, one of the books that I'm going to show of the 3, it's not the original. It's actually the original I sent off to CGC, and I'll talk about that. But you guys know I love Conan. Guys, I really truly did not start out being a comic book collector. I love comic book collecting. It's my absolute hobby, passion right now, if you will. But I was a Conan collector. I just liked reading the stories, and that's the truth. Now, this is an old beat-up copy. You can see there's a missing piece right here. Now, I do have, and I bought this pretty early on. I do have, it was a 9.4. I don't know what the grade is now, but I sent it down to CGC for an in-house signing with Roy Thomas. I talked to Roy Thomas, which is amazing that I actually talked to this giant creator that I know about. And I talked to him a week and a half, almost 2 weeks ago. He said that book was signed a couple of weeks before that. So it's been signed 3 to 4 weeks for now, or by now. I'm waiting to see what it comes back. I definitely sent that book off for a press because it was never pressed. I could see, waviness and defects in the case. And it was a 9.4. I don't know that it's going to get a great bump. Hopefully it does, but at the very least, hopefully it comes back a 9.4 with a Roy Thomas signature. So that was one of my big first books. Another one of my big first books, I told you I was a Conan reader. I ended up getting this book right here. This is Savage Sword of Conan #1. I felt this was a pretty big book. I love having that. Now, this book, I just showed this off in a couple videos recently. It seems to be that whenever I show a book, it seems to keep coming back. And so right now, Savage Tales #1 is in the cycle on the Matt Woods YouTube channel. But I do have this book raw. I won't see that book for 2 years because I had it signed by Roy Thomas. It's going to CGC, and it's going to be pressed. And it is a 209-day wait for a magazine. That's without a press. It's just 209 business days. And it was 187 business days for a magazine to be pressed. It's going to be gone a long time. So the next category was, what is your favorite C or D list character? Now guys, Army of Darkness. I love Ash, okay? You know, Dale Campbell's character from the movie, Army of Darkness, and also Evil Dead. But I absolutely love seeing Ash in comic books. It's just, Dale Campbell is such a great actor, and they do him very well here in the comic books. And he's been in many different comic book series. Right here's, the actor, Dale Campbell, who we know he plays Ash. And one of my favorite bad guy evil characters, C-list, is Evil Ash. If you guys have ever seen a movie or read any of these comic books. And I have some of these pretty rare editions of Army of Darkness. Which is funny, I couldn't find this book right here, because the first two books I showed were from 1992. Dark Horse, Army of Darkness. I noticed that issue number 1 wasn't there. Well, right here it is. So, anyhow, that is probably my favorite C or D list character is Ash from Army of Darkness. The next category, one of the books could probably fit in 2 different categories. One, first big book, and also a book that is one of the books that makes me happiest to own. Now, this book right here, you guys have heard the story. I wasn't looking for this book whenever I found my Amazing Spider-Man number 1. It's a 0.5. It's very low grade, but the story of how I found it is amazing. I was going to a basketball game, okay? I used to coach basketball, and I just stopped at a yard sale along the way. I had some time to kill. I was rummaging through some Popular Mechanics, National Geographic magazines, and they looked to be from the 60s, okay? In amongst them, I ended up coming across a single comic book. This was that comic book. It was within all these old magazines. Somebody had stored it into their attic. It got damaged. It got moisture damage, okay? The roof didn't leak. It was just condensation in the attic. And it didn't do very well with the paper. Believe it or not, the inside pages of this are absolutely fabulous. They're immaculate, okay? It is easy to read, nothing. It's just the cover. What happened was some of the ink from this got pulled off onto whatever magazine that this was next to. And there's a little bit of ink that's on here, but most of it was pulled off. But the back's actually in pretty decent shape. The book, I don't know. Part of me understands the 0.5 grade. Part of me thinks the book's in a little bit better shape than it. But that book was one of the first big books. That's kind of whenever I first started to get into... I finished my Conan run and I started to get into Spider-Man, but it was still within just a couple years of me starting to collect comic books. So that is one of my favorite. Now, this right here, I showed a raw copy. This was a slab copy that I think I just picked this up within the last year or so. This is another one that I love, okay? It's just Savage Tales number 1. First appearance of Man-Thing. The first appearance of Conan the Barbarian in magazine format. Great. Now, there are some other books here. I love to own this Spawn Black and White number 1 and a 9.8, nonetheless. Less than 100 of those in the world. Here is a nice Spider-Man. What is this? 9.8. Love having that in the collection. There's also, I love this book because of the signature down here. This is a super, to me, epic cover. This is a Jim Steranko cover for Hulk Annual number 1. Love having that book in there. Love knowing that it was signed by him. But probably the book that makes me the, absolute, happiest about, or that I'm happiest to own, would be Amazing Spider-Man 110. This was my ticket to become a member of the Gibbon Gang on the Regie Collects YouTube channel. Now, if you guys are a follower of Regie Collects, you know that this is more of a joke than anything, but I kind of like it. It kind of makes me laugh. Now, for the fourth category, TyloxTheMighty, he said, what is the character that you, I'm going to say, dislike the most? Now, guys, I don't know what the actual character, but I'll tell you a series that I absolutely was so disappointed in. There was a time, I think it was 2004, that Marvel Previews, the Previews magazine itself, was just absolutely hyping a new series by Neil Gaiman. Now, Neil Gaiman is known for putting out some really fabulous work. Now, what they put out was the series 1602. Now, I don't know why, but I went all in on it, okay? I put it on my pull list, but I actually picked up an extra copy. So I have 2 issue number 1s, and they're in fabulous shape right now. But guys, I actually have a 9.8 slabbed copy of 1602. You know, and here's the rest of the issues. You know, I have a full series run. And absolutely fabulous art on it, okay? Andy Kubert was the artist. Here's the problem with this, though. I absolutely despised reading it. Now, I'm telling you, I've never been so bored reading a comic book as I was with this 1602. It wasn't even slightly interesting to me. I just couldn't wait to finish reading the words to get done and over with it. Not because it was good, but because it was really, really bad, okay? It was just a boring read. So that is my submission for the character, I'm going to say, series that I disliked the least. Now, the last question was, what character has the best rogues gallery? The character, in my opinion, has the best rogues gallery is absolutely Spider-Man. I mean, you have, and not all of these are, originals. Some of these are just cool, because this is a reprint of ASM 3, and it has Doc Ock on the cover. Awesome, okay? You have the Lizard right here, Dr. Connors. You have the Vulture. You gotta love the Vulture. Kraven the Hunter. What a great bad guy that is. I love the Rhino. Awesome. Again, not an original. This is a reprint. I believe this came from buying one of the Spider-Man movies, one of the Tobey Maguire movies. This was in the DVD set. I think if I had to guess, I actually don't know which one, but I know it came from one of those. So this is ASM 50 with Kingpin. I love the Prowler. Now you have some really good ones. The Green Goblin I have right here. Green Goblin's probably Spider-Man's greatest foe. The Hobgoblin, who I actually like better than the Green Goblin. You have a little bit of Carnage. Carnage coming out the new movie this weekend. Also, Venom. Okay, now this isn't a picture of Venom, but this is the first appearance of Venom in magazine. I guess I have another copy of the first appearance of Carnage. And without a doubt, Stan Lee's greatest villain, super villain, best all around, the Gibbon, okay? So, anyhow, guys, go check out TyloxTheMighty's channel. It's a lot of fun. The guy loves comic books. If you want to see him, if you like what you see on his channel, he's also on the Spine Ticks channel quite often, okay? So, guys, do yourselves a favor. Go check out these channels and have a lot of fun with this. Guys, I hope you like this video. I hope you like the content of this channel. If you do, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and put a comment down below. Tell me some of your favorite comic books. Alright guys, I want to thank everybody for watching, and you have a great day.